I am Manjunath MK, Assistant Professor, Government First Aid College, Chenapatna. Let me discuss the human resource management practices under which we are going to then discuss selection. This is the session number 19. The selection, first we understand what is selection. The so many definition has been given. ಈಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿನ ನಾವು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ so many methods and the techniques has been used to the near select the people. ಅದು ಯೋಗ್ಯವಾಗಿದಾನ ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ, ಅದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಜಾಬ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ so many definition were been given by then Harold Kuhns, then Dale Yoder and David Robinsons. The so many definition would be given. Then first definition is that according to the Harold Kuhns, selection is a process of choosing from the then candidates from the within the organization or from the outside the organization for most suitable person for the current position or for the future positions. ಈ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಚೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದ ದೆನ್ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ದೆನ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ within the organization or outside the organization, the most suitable persons out of the available then heap of the candidates in which we are going to then choose the suitable candidate, the suitable persons for the current position or for the future positions. This is the definition given by the then Harold Kuhns. Then another definition is given Dale Yoder. Then according to him, then selection is a process by which the candidates for the employment are divided into two classes. Those will be then able to offer to the offered job, offer the employment, and those who will not. Then according to the Dale Yoder, selection process by which the candidates for the employment are divided into two groups, who will get offered for the employment, or it may the another one is that those who will not. This is a classification, then a classification in which we can understand what is selection. Then a third definition is given by the David and Robinson. According to him, selection the process is a managerial decision making process to predict then which job applicant will be successful if hired. Then this according to this definition, it predict that then if the candidate the selecting the particular candidate, he will get succeeded only when if he hired. He became successful when he hired. Then by considering so many then here criteria, then qualification, then and then previous experience, likewise they are going to then consider and will going to then here select. Then another definition would be given by the RM Odgates. Selection is a process in which the enterprises choose the applicants best to meet the criteria for the available positions. Then through the definition which we can understand, then suitable candidates, then within the organization, outside the organization, suitable candidate has been then selected for doing the then current then positions, or it may the future positions in the organization. Then so many steps are involved in the selection. The first one is the screening, second one is the completion of application form, the third one the employment test, the fourth one is the then job interview, another one conditional job offer, the sixth one the background investigation, the seventh one is the medical examination, the eighth one the permanent job offers. Yeah, these are all the selection, the steps or method used to then select the people. The first one, initial screening. The ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಜಾಬ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂಗಳು ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಆಫರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಗಿವನ್. ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Then ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ then a medical examination ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, whether he is going to then fit to physically or not, then find out to the medical examination. Finally the permanent job offer has been made. The first we understand, then the first step is that initial screening. The selection process often begins with the initial screening of applicants to remove the individuals who are obviously then do not meet the then positions of the requirement. Here, after collecting the application from the candidates, the prospective then employees or the aspirant of the job, they are going to then apply. Then out of which they are going to screen the application according to the organization requirement, the job specification, what the job is described, then whatever the total then job analysis has been made. According to that, the individual then applications of the then candidate has been screened. Then out of which the people they can't able to meet the requirements of the organization, they may be then removed, then they are not able to then meet the positions of the organization requirement. At this stage, a few straightforward questions are asked. Then asked, an applicant may be obviously then unqualified to fill the then advertised position. But we well qualified to then work in the other the positions. The purpose of screening is to then decrease the number of applicant is being considered for the selection. Then another one is a source of utilized in the screening the efforts. The personal the resume the presented with the job application is considered as source of information that can be used for the initial screening process. He may be then attached with the mass cards, and he may be then given the CV or a resume. Likewise, the information has been provided. The provided information has been then screened by the qualified people. It mainly includes the information in the following areas: employment, education history, evaluation, the evaluation of character, evaluation of job performance. Likewise. Then what are the advantages of successful screening? If the screening effort is successful, those applicants that do not meet the minimum required applications will not move to the next stages in the selection process. The companies utilizing the expensive selection procedure put more effort to into the screening and reducing the cost. These are first then the advantage of successful screening. If you are thoroughly screened the each and every then applications of the applicant, then we can go into find out whether he is going to then meet the organization requirement or not. Then those are not meet the then organization requirement or qualification, they can't able to then move the next stages. He may be removed at that level itself. Then another one is that then another advantage of screening is that completion of application form. Then application blank then is a formal record of individual application for the employment. The next step in the selection process may involve having the prospective employees to complete the application for the employment. This may be as a brief requiring only the applicant name, address, telephone the number. Then in general in terms, the application form gives the then a job performance related to the synopsis of applicants, the life skills and accomplishment, etc. The specific type of information may be vary from the then form to form, and even by the then job type within the organization. The application form are also are a good way to then quickly collect the verifiable and fairly accurate historical data from the candidates. Here the blank applications is consisting of then all the then information like the name, address, telephone, the telephone number, prior experience and job performance is done then earlier. Then these are all the information has been we can be then find out the through which then the successful screening it includes then a second disadvantage. Third one is that employment test. The personal testing is valuable way to the measure the individual characteristics. Then hundreds of tests have been developed to the measure the various the dimensions of behavior according to the requirement of the job. Then some test has been conducted like mental abilities, knowledge, physical abilities, personality, interest, temperament and other attitude and behavior. This is depend upon the job requirement. Then job specified, what the particular job specified according to that mental ability, knowledge, then personality, interest, temperament test and the attitude, behavior, then aptitude, then and also been tested. Then evidence suggests that uses of test is becoming the more prevalent for the assessment of an applicant's qualification and potential for the success. Tests are used for more in public sector than the private sector, in medium sized and large companies than in small companies. The large companies are likely to have trained specialists to run their testing programs. Then advantage of using test. The advantage is that the selection test can be reliable and accurate means of selecting the qualified candidate from the pool of applicants. Among the pool of applicants, we can find out the reliable and accurate mean the way in which we can select the qualified people. Then, as with all the procedures, it is important to identify the essential functions of each job and determine the skills needed to perform by them. The potential problems using the test. The problem is that Then a selection test may be then accurately then predict applicant's ability to perform the job, but they are less successful for indicating extent to which the individual will want to perform it. The another potential problem is that they are related primarily to the personality test and interest inventories as to down with the applicant's honesty. And also there is a problem of test anxiety. These are cannot be then done. These are disadvantage. Applicants oftenly become quite anxious then when the confronting with the confronting yet another the hurdle that might be eliminate them from the consideration. Then another one is a job interview. Then interview is the goal-oriented conversation which the interviewer then applicant exchange the information. The employment interview is successfully significant because the applicant who reach this stage are considered to be the most promising than candidates. Then interview planning. Then how to make an interview plan? The interview plan is essentially the effective employment interviews. The physical location of the interview then should be the pleasant and private. Providing from the then a minimum of interruptions. Here then interview should be then done with the private place and pleasant place as well as then a minimum interruption. The interruptions. It should be then here the provided for minimum interruptions. Then interviewer should be then possess then a pleasant personality, empathy, and ability to listen and communicate effectively. These are the another important the point to be then considered when making the physical location of the interview to be conducted. Then he or she should be then familiar with the applicant's qualifications by reviewing the data collected from the selection tools and preparing for an interview. Then a job profile should be then developed based on the job description. Then another one is that then we are being discussed the place, then the place, or it may be the location to conduct the interview. Another one is the content of interview. Then content of interview should be then here consisting of the first one the occupational experiences, then the applicants the skill, knowledge, and the willingness to then handle the responsibility should be then and occupational experience should require then applicants the skill, ability, knowledge, and to handle the responsibility. Second one is that then academic achievement. In the absence of significant work experience, the person's academic background that takes the greater importance. The third one is that interpersonal skills. If an individual cannot be work the well with than other employees, chances for success are slim. This especially true in today's world with an increasing emphasis being placed on use of teams. The personal qualities of individual observed through the interview include the physical appearance, body language, speaking ability, vocabulary, poise, then adaptability and assertiveness. These are all the thing can be find out through the interview. Then another one is that then the conditional job offer. Then another one is that the organizational fit. Then hiring criteria is not only prominent mentioned in the literature is organizationally fit. Organizationally fit is ill-defined, but that refers to the management perception of the degree in which a prospective employee with example the firm culture and the value system. The conditional job offer. Then conditional job offer means tentative, then a temporary job offer, then that becomes a permanent till to the permanent after the certain conditions are met. In the government then job, they are considered the probationary period. After the particular period, after the 2 years or it may be 3 years, then after completion, then successfully completing the probationary period, then only became a permanent employee. Likewise here also, they may be given the conditional job offer after completing all the conditions are made by the organization. Those are the completed successfully became the permanent employee. Then another the background of the investigation. Background investigation is intended to verify that the information on the applications form is correct and accurate. They should be certified by the reputed persons. This step is used to then check the accuracy of the applications from the formed through the farmers employees or any references has been given, verification of education qualification, legal status to work, then credit history of the credit history and the criminal records and also been made. Then personal reference checks may be provide the additional insight to the information furnished by the applicant to allow the verification accuracy. Then past behavior, it's also then proved through the references has been given. Then what he became from the criminal background. It may be then he is a defaulter. Likewise, as honesty has been going to be then identified. Then background verification. Then it is important to then gain much as information as possible about the past behavior to understand what kinds of the behavior he can expect in the future. The knowledge about the attendance problem, insubordination issues, theft and other behavioral problems can certainly help to then avoid the hiring someone who is likely to repeat the same behavior. The background investigations primarily seek the data from the references supplied by the applicants, including as previous employers. Then intensity of the background investigation then depends upon the level of the responsibility, the inherent in the positions to be then filled. Here the most important thing, in addition to then we are going to then check with the background inquiry. Background investigation has been made. It is from the past employer or from the any the references has been given. Then through which we are going to then find out. Then another one is that common source of background information includes reference are provided by the applicants are usually then very positive. Then another one is that former employees should be then here called to then confirm the candidate's work records and to then obtain the performance appraisal. Then former employees may be then here given the information regarding the candidates how he has worked in the and what may be the record, then work record, it is to be attached, then through which we can understand. Then another one is that educational accomplishment can be verified by asking the transcripts. Then another one is the legal status to then work, the credit references if it is the job related. Then criminal records, they can be checked by the third party investigator, background checks by the conduct of the third party investigators. Online the searches then simple as a Google search we can be done. Then another one is that medical, and the main the step is that medical and the physical examination. After the decision has been made when extended to the job offer, the next phase is that selection process involves the completion of medical and physical examination. Now this is the utmost important thing for the find out that then physical fitness of the fitness is essential for the job performance. Typically the job offers is the contingent on successful on passing the examination. For example, then firefighters, it may be became the must perform the activities that requires the physical conditions. Then whether it is climbing the ladder and lagging the water filter pour, then 4-inch hose, or then carrying injured victims, carrying the uninjured victims. These individuals must be then demonstrate that they are fit for the jobs. Then the last process is that then permanent job offer. The individual who can perform the job successfully in preceding the steps are now then considered as eligible to receive the employment offer. The actual hiring decisions should be then made by the managers by the in the department where this vacancy has been existed. Here we have been discussed regarding the selection. Then what are the steps are involved in the selection, then the concept of selection, then what are what is employment test, job interview test, and then the condition job offer, background investigation, the medical examination, finally the permanent job offer. These concept has been discussed, then through which we can understand the steps in selection. Thank you for listening.